guys, Ash here, VERSITILE Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Ooh, I'm glad that you clicked on this video because it's going to be a good one. I promise you. I started to do a guide on this champion on my VERSITILE Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel. And I started to think to myself, how am I going to build this champion, this 3-year-old fusion or whatever, 3-year-old Christmas maybe fusion? How am I going to build him or her or it, or I don't know what it is. It's Tatura Rimehide.
Like a lion.
And I thought to myself, man, this is one of the most underrated champions in the game. When you revisit this kit here 3 years later, very versatile and very, very good. And the cool thing about this champion is there's so many different ways to use him in so many different areas. And I'm going to share the top 5 builds that I've gone through and considered, but I'm just going to do it all in one video for you guys today, right? So I'm going to flip-flop between all the builds and talk about why I love them so much. And throughout that process, hopefully compel you guys to take Tatura out of the vault if he's not already. If he is already, maybe consider using one of these builds, because really we're looking at just an absolute monster of a champion inside the game. And I gotta say, I've been not sleeping because I knew that Tatura was good, but I just haven't been using him nearly enough, right? So first of all, check out hellhades.com, right? They rank him a 4.5 out of 5, very high ranking. And look at the area rankings on this dude, right? I mean, this is insane. It just goes to show you. And even I disagree with some of this hard mode stuff, right? Like hard mode ice golem, I actually think he can be a lot better than 3.5. You can see the guards with the freeze. He's got buffs. He's got debuffs. He's just so good. Damage as well. Doom Tower, he's good against almost every Doom Tower boss. He's great. He's underrated and sneaky good inside the arena. Good in Clan Boss and Hydra, in Doom Tower and Iron Twins. Man, what a champion. Good multipliers, a 4.2 defensive multiplier on an AoE with a strong damage ranking, a 3.8 on the A1 with a strong damage ranking. Let's quickly revisit this kit you probably haven't looked at in a few hundred years. First of all, defense, solid, over 1400. Speed, average, 102. 20k on the HP. We got defense in Doom Tower battles. Okay, well, maybe the aura is nothing to write home about, but the A1 has a decreased accuracy. The passive, when attacked, reflects 30% of the damage of this champion receives back to the attacker. I'm not going to lie, it's not that much damage because he's so tanky, right? He's not taking too much damage to reflect 30% back. But the second part is super cool. 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Obviously not going to be helpful in Hydra like the rest of the kit, but going to be helpful against wave content. Going to be a menace inside the arena. Can't wait to share some of these builds with you guys. On the A2, 3-turn cooldown, block debuffs, and increased defense for 2 turns. Increased defense is super nice too because it gives more damage out of Tatura, because Tatura is obviously a defensive-based nuker on the A3 AoE. It's not even a nuker, I shouldn't say that. Almost like a support who can deal a lot of damage too, right? A support nuker. AoE attack on a 4-turn cooldown, that is the standard for Perfect Veil. My man's got Perfect Veil on a 2-turn duration on a 4-turn cooldown. Of course, with lasting gifts, we can extend that duration. It does work on Perfect Veil as well. Has a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns, 20% of the damage inflicted, which can be significant as well. So we've got freeze, we've got decreased accuracy, we've got increased defense, we got increased, block debuffs, we got a Perfect Veil on everybody for 2 turns, then we got a shield on Tatura to just make sure the big fella stays alive. And look at the aesthetics. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. I love this puppy. I want one of these in my house. I want a Tatura Rimehide. I want to hop right on. Go flying. Like a never-ending story. On the, I always get the luck dragon. The luck dragon, right? Is it luck dragon? Luck griffin? Luck dragon. Anyway, I want to hop on. Atreyu, here I come. All right, guys, so let me show you my favorite builds for this champion, right? He already does it all, right? You guys are thinking what I'm thinking. You're like, wow, Ash is right. This is one time he's actually right. Tatura is a god. I need to use this champion more. All right, Tatura. Oh, not Tattoo 8. Tattoo. Remember that group? All the things you said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. No? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so let's just start basic here. Let's start basic. How about a bolster set? We got 20k HP. Why not? heal him along the way. It's not my favorite build for Tatura, but you can absolutely run bolster. Now, where would I use a bolster build? I'll show you the total stats, and I'll show you the gear as I talk about these, right? Where would you use a bolster set on Tatura? Well, you can basically use it anywhere. You still get the heal as well. Nice, kind of a 10% heal every turn, so that lasts forever. You get the 3-turn protected shield. You could absolutely use a bolster set inside the arena. You could use a stone skin inside the arena as well. Heck, you could do a 4-4. 4 pieces of stone skin if you had the accessories, and a 4-piece bolster, and it's just going to be an absolute tank of a champion, right? Supporting your team and staying alive. Nice little build for the arena, right? Also can work in other areas because of the heal. So with bolster, we want as much HP as possible. Obviously, it's a defense-based damage dealer as well, so it's hard to get both. So I tried to kind of split the difference here on this build. But on all these builds, I'm going to try to build Tatura with 100% crit rate, right? I'm going to try to crit cap Tatura, even though with this build and a couple others that I'll point out, if you just want all-out survivability, you just want that big shield, and that's all you care about, you already have enough damage dealers, then go ahead. In an area like Centranos, I would definitely consider bolster set, right? So there it is, but I want that damage on Tatura too, so I am going to crit cap, but you don't have to crit cap. Same thing with accuracy on this champion. If you're using Tatura in Hydra, which we might as well go to the Hydra build really quickly, but you know, I have speed on the boots. I got a nice defensive on the Ascension too, so I could min-max this a little bit, this build here. I went HP on the chest, and I went crit rate on the gauntlets there, and then I went accuracy, crit damage, and defense on the ring, trying to mix and match defense and defense, or excuse me, defense and HP, there we go, to take advantage of everything that he has to offer. Now, on the accuracy, in areas like Hydra, you don't have to go all out accuracy, right? I mean, we're not going to be able to land the freeze anyway off the passive in Hydra, and it's 1 decrease accuracy. It is 100%. It's very nice to have, but it's not mandatory, especially if you already have decreased accuracy on your team, or you just want to go all out tankiness. You can kind of punt accuracy depending on the build, depending on how you're going to use this champion. The Masteries, basically going to keep them the same here because I want to have like an all-around mastery build. Actually, I lied. I'll go like super tank masteries right now. Let's do it right now, right? So we can choose between the two. So this one is just going to be some damage, as well as obviously with War Master. That would be my favorite Hydra mastery build that I just showed you guys. Now, you could go so many different directions though with the rest of the kit here. You can add a little bit of HP. You can add a little bit of accuracy depending on what you need. But let's go defense tree, right? Let's go extra defense. Let's go blast proof, mitigating AoE damage. Let's go resurgent. Resurgent, one of the most underrated masteries inside the game. Let's come down and go. So we could land leeches when we land those freezes. So for wave content, when your enemy is susceptible to freeze, it's a nice consideration to go Harvest Despair and get those leeches and heal your team at the same time. So we're just gonna go, delay death, because I'm not sure where you're gonna use this build, but let's go like Solidarity, increase some resistance. Let's go Shadow Heal. Let's go Selfless Defender, and then let's go Bulwark. Can see where I'm going here. Maybe some of you out there. You can go Cycle of Revenge to get that turn meter increase, or we can go with Retribution to counterattack and get the decreased accuracy. I'm going to go Cycle of Revenge. So what am I doing right now? I'm building a super tanky build for Tatura. He has that shield on the A3, so we can take advantage of that. And I'm going to go to my favorite tanky build in just a moment here, so stay with me. Sure, Exalted Death, why not? Let's go Rapid Response. Absolutely, there's buffs all over the place. We're going to get turn meter increase off Rapid Response. Let's go with Cycle of Magic, and then let's go with Lasting Gifts. So this is the all-out tank build. It's going to be super tanky Tatura Rimehide. So let's go to the super tanky build. By the way, I have Brimstone right now. I have enough accuracy to land it. I love Brimstone on Tatura. Just be careful, obviously, if you don't have the accuracy, you don't have the 6-star Awakening, which we do not, it's going to require accuracy. So don't go Brimstone if you're not going to build with the accuracy, obviously. All right, let's switch builds here, guys. Now, bolster, I mean, I could run these masteries, obviously, with this bolster, but, with the Bulwark, we're getting 5% soaking up the damage on allies. Selfless Defender, the first 20% on the first hit on allies, excuse me. So a lot of damage mitigation. So what set can we parlay this strategy with and get even more value out of this beast? Well, some of you probably already know, but we're gonna go with Guardian. And where's my Guardian set? Ah! Okay, guys. So we just went full all-out Guardian mode. Full all-out, a little redundant there, Ash, but either way, we did it. Guardian gear. We're absorbing 10% of all damage dealt to all allied champions all the time. 10% all the time. I love it. That's a lot of damage mitigation, but it's really 15% because we have the Bulwark tier 6 mastery as well in that defense tree, right? So now we're soaking up permanently 15% of damage on this tank of a beast of a champion, and then we're going to be healing by 10% every turn anyway? Fantastic, fantastic. Damage absorbed is not reduced by defense. Keep that in mind. I figured I'd throw a stone skin in there for the heck of it. That's not mandatory for a Guardian set, but it's nice to have. And this gives us some, you know, some flexibility. We can run him inside the arena like this as well. Now, again, I want to throw in the caveat there that I want to build a little bit of damage on this champion. So I did go crit rate on the gauntlets, maybe a little bit unorthodox. I'm sure some people would just say, hey, Ash, you're going to go Guardian, just go all out tank. And I totally respect that point of view as well. So hey, no worries, go HP percentage or go defense percentage if you're in that camp on the gauntlets. Certainly can stack in a lot more survivability, which is always a good thing, ergo more heals off of the Guardian set's heal, right? All right, so total stats on this one is going to be 70k, 4600, 253 on the speed, pretty fast, not crit capped, but a decent amount at 87, 169, 449 on the accuracy. Again, on this build, I'd probably go ahead and remove that accuracy banner, and I'd go for something a bit tankier, right? Because I'm really not satisfied with these stats that we have right now. Do I have anything kind of tanky? Resistance, you could go resist, but let's just go some HP on there, right? I mean, we want to make sure that we have enough HP on this champion. We'll do a little bit of resist. I have not glyphed anything out. You guys can see there's a lot of unglyphed gear here. Okay, I lied. There's not a lot of unglyphed gear. There's a little bit of unglyphed gear. But now that we made that adjustment, we're rocking 78k. I feel a little bit better about that, but you know, obviously the closer to 100k in the late game you can get, the better. The good news is this guy's going to be healing, so we got some survivability in there, and we got the shield on the A3, so you can kind of get by with that crit rate there. So this is the other build, guys. Again, HP percentage on the chest, we have speed on the boots, and I love this. This is like the all-out tank mode for your Tatura, right? This is going to be useful basically anywhere that anybody on your team might be dying, right? And I'll show you one of my favorite areas to use a build like this in just a moment here, but of course it works in the arena with the 4-piece stone skin. You can sneak in the 4-piece stone skin in almost any situation. Let me go to build number 3. All right, guys, so this is build number 3. Now, this is for Hydra Clan Boss. We have 2 routes that we can go for Hydra Clan Boss that I would recommend with this champion, and this is one of them. The 9-piece protection, if you can pull it off. This guy has 3 buffs, so that can be 15% more damage when you can get the 9-piece. Now, anything less than 9, I'm not a big fan of. I would go with the next build, but 9-piece protection is the meta.
You are responsible for this.
15% damage with the 3 buffs that we're bringing to the table, the Perfect Veil, the increased defense, and the block debuffs is going to be absolutely huge, especially over the duration of longer battles. So you can get a massive damage boost on top of everything else that Tatura is able to provide. Personally, if I'm gonna go to Hydra, especially if I can build enough speed, and you can see I'm going all out speed, that way I can get back to those buffs and keep that uptime on those buffs as long as humanly possible, because the faster Tatura is, the more damage bonus out of the 9-piece that I'm getting throughout the duration of the Hydra battle, right? So we want to go all out speed on the 9-piece protection. I've done that here, and this is my favorite build for Hydra Clan Boss on Tatura, but don't worry if you don't have the 9-piece protection yet in the High Elves, because I got you covered. That's right, it's good old Relentless gear. So good old Relentless, I do have some Supersonic on there. I would have to make some changes here. I just noticed that I have an attack percentage on the chest. Definitely don't want that. We want defense percentage no matter what on the chest here of Tatura, especially with this build. But Relentless gear, right? That's going to help you get back to those buffs. So again, it's ever so important that we keep that uptime as high as humanly possible. That's why it's a good idea to also parlay a Tatura with a buff extender on your team, like a Krisk or an Anchorite or a, I don't know, Malkith Bloodflock or a Lady Mikage or a, well, I could just keep going and going, but buff extenders work really well with Tatura Rimehide. But with the Relentless set, we have those 18% chance of getting an extra turn, and that's going to, in each consecutive chance, reduces by 45%, which is notable in case you guys weren't aware of that change like years ago. but that's going to allow us to get back to these skills a little bit faster, thus with speed and relentless able to keep those buffs up even longer on all of our allies. Just a word of caution though, that's going to give us extra turns to strip away those buffs and every other buff on this champion. That is the unfortunate downside of relentless gear, but relentless after a 9-piece protection is my second favorite build for Hydra clan boss on this champion. All right, last build. All right guys, so this one is super fun. I made a whole video on this set combo, but of course I had to include it. It's Frost and Frostbite. So listen, this guy can be an absolute, like I said, a nuisance, a menace inside the arena. And this is a very fun build. Now, you don't have to have Frost and Frostbite. You can simply have a Frost set and a 4-piece Stone Skin set. Or you can have a Frostbite and a 4-piece Stone Skin set. Those are great alternatives as well for the arena. But what we're doing is we're already playing on that passive, right? A 30% chance to place the freeze on the attacker anyway. But now with a Frostbite and a Frost set, just keep in mind, we don't need accuracy for the Frost and the Frostbite Frost, but we do need the accuracy for the Frost on the passive, right? So this does require accuracy to go in this mode. So I want to put that accuracy banner right back on Tatura that we just took off. But this build can be so much fun, not just inside the arena, but really against wave content. A really formidable CC option for you guys because we have, again, 50% chance or 10% chance to place a freeze off the Frostbite, 20% off the Frost set. That's 30. We get another 30% chance to place a freeze on the Glimmerhide passive. So man, that's really, really annoying. Now on this set, you could probably go with a tanky build as well if you wanted to. Guys, I've shown you now my 5 favorite builds for Tatura Rimehide. Let me show you how it all started here, right? We went into Curse City. It was this double boss, the hardest double boss in the game in Soul Cross on hard mode, and I just kind of ran this team, and man, this is when I started to fall in love again with Tatura, right? I wanted to get myself a Tatura. This is when I started to have those fantasies about riding Tatura. Maybe fantasy is the wrong word, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? And just full auto, just coming in here and helping out with, well, basically everything. The only downside I will say on this team is I'm going against another Tatura. So you can see my Newt and my own Tatura is frozen because I'm going against a stupid Frostbite, Frost set, Glimmerhide version of Tatura on the other side. I went originally with bolster strategy with this team and it worked out great, right? Because having extra tankiness on my champions, always a good thing. So let's see if this team can get it done again here. But guys, have I convinced any of you? Have I convinced any of you right now, still watching 20 minutes into the video, whatever it is, that this champion is an absolute monster that people just sleep on? I don't know why, but I just never hear anybody talking about this champion. I mean, hellhades.com had it ranked 4.5 out of 5. But man, I think that any player, whether you're early game, end game, mid game, doesn't matter. In any area, you're focused on PvE, PvP, looking for an unorthodox go second team, whatever it may be. Taturhide can be the answer for you guys. So we've stabilized things. You can see we're placing that decreased accuracy against the bosses. You love to see that as well. Decreased accuracy, one of the most underrated debuffs, and we've got it 100% on the A1, right? Really effective. This team makes these double bosses look super easy, and honestly, they're not. Loranithil, Helikath, Tatura, obviously Tatura, all these champions are defense-based, right? Except for Loranithil. So we're getting extra damage off of everybody because of the increased defense as well, right? So much utility, so much value in those 3 buffs and the passive. It's just like basically plug and play this champion anywhere that you want to, right? Easy, easy. All right, let me just show you a real quick arena battle. Let me know, by the way, what you thought of this video format. The 4 of you still watching right now in the video, I would love to know. This is kind of an all-out disrupt team. Uh-oh, I screwed up though, because UDK is naked right now. UDK is naked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just find clothes restricted.
Hopefully I have a preset all ready to go. The whole idea on this team is okay, I can't beat normal. Yeah, heck yeah, I want to try it on. All right, I can't beat a team because I can't outspeed anybody, right? I'm gonna try with Armons, but I don't even have my Armons built super fast because I have them in Stone Skin and Pinpoint. We still go fast here, right? Whatever. But look at this team. It's the most annoying team of all time. Now, on this particular build, I do have the Frostbite and the Frost on Tatura. Normally, I would actually put that on UDK, right? Even with the bombs. I'm not going to kill my team with those bombs. You might be able to do a little bit of damage, but not enough. We're going to kill you first. There we go. Boom. Man, you can get by a lot when you think, if you can't beat people in the arena, guys, you got to think, if you can't outspeed, if you're going against a bunch of whales, you got to think outside the box, right? They can't take a turn and beat you if they're perma-frozen. So you might not have all these champions, right? All right, guys, I found a team super, super fast. You got to think outside the box in the arena. And this is one of those great strategies, right? I mean, Armand's look at this. They're already frozen. That's all thanks to Tormund, but they're already frozen. It's so difficult for a go first team to contend with a team like this, right? Even if they have Stone Skin or whatever on, right? I mean, my team's tanky enough that I can stay alive. I can withstand the first 2 rounds of the enemy team. They're gonna strip that off, and a team like this is gonna be tough to kill. So I love slotting into Tatura Rimehide on a team like this, right? Just super tanky. I don't even have a reviver in there. I could easily take Armand's out and put like a Pythion in. Even more tanky. Then I got a cleanser. Then I got block debuffs. I got heals. But this is the type of strategy you guys can go ahead and use on your accounts as well, using an outside the box frostbite type strategy with a Tatura. Guys, hopefully I convinced you guys that this champion is a monster. Thanks for watching all the way till the end. Let me know what you think of the format of this video, like sharing a bunch of different builds and being build heavy and a little bit less gameplay towards the end. Thanks for watching till the end. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.